Hello there. Yes, I'm Akaze. Welcome to our channel. I'm Akaze, and this is my wife Olashade.
Hello.
Yes, so on this video, we're actually celebrating our 14th year anniversary. Yeah. Okay, so that's 14th year anniversary, 28th of August today, or depending on when you're watching this video. Yes, it's 20th of August is our wedding anniversary, 14th year anniversary, 20th of August 2025. So we decided that rather than just having just doing the usual celebrations, we wanted to do a video or a series of videos to talk about our experience so far. Did we make a mistake or did we get it right? You know, we wanted to share what our experience has been right from before we even found each other and up till our courtship and even marriage. How has it been? What did we get right and what didn't we get right? Or did we get everything right? Yeah, so we want to talk about that. So in this particular series, this is a 5-part series. So this is the first part. This is the first video in that 5-part series. So part 1, which is what we want to talk about now, is before we found each other, the search and the standards. Before we found each other, the search and the standards. You know, we want to talk about what transpired before we found each other. What are the decisions we took before we found each other? You know, the success or failure of your marriage, and indeed any marriage or indeed most marriages, depends on the choices and decisions the people in particular make before they even meet each other or before even they get married. And so that's why we want to treat that. And it's so important, so critical. It's like a foundation of any marriage or any couple coming together. And that's why we feel like it's important for us to treat this issue right now. So we want to zero in on those things that helped us, or those things we did that in retrospect helped us help us find each other and also helped us on our journey so far. So are you ready to okay, yes.
In simple terms, we can just say that the preparations we make before we enter into the marriage, you know, like people will say, if you don't plan to fail, if you don't plan, then you're already planning to fail. That's the steps we made before we get into the marriage. So that's what we'll be talking about. Yes.
That's what we're talking about. So that's what we want to treat right now. So let's without much ado, let's go to the some points. We have some like main points we want to talk about, and we'll talk about some other things under it. Yeah. So first off, our individual journeys before marriage. So we want to talk about what did you discover about yourself? We are talking about self-discovery, personal growth, you know, clarity on your life goals. What did you find out about yourself that helped you shape the kind of person you felt that, okay, this is the kind of person I'm going to get married to. I'll get married to this person, I won't get married to this person. What are those we are talking about your self-discovery now. What are those things you...
So for me, the journey of marriage, I would say, starts immediately after I finished my service year.
As your service?
Yeah, okay. NYSC service. That was in the year 2007. Yeah, 2007. At the tail end of the finishing that, you know, I was in between decisions whether to come to Lagos or to go to Abuja, where my siblings, some of my siblings are staying. So, but I know this is not a decision I could just make on my mind, on my own. I had to wait on God, ask God, and know God's direction, because this step is going to, is going to lead to other decisions. So I pray, and I felt at that time, in fact, some of my sisters were already making plans for me to come to Abuja, to come and work in banks, to come and work in some areas. But at a point, I felt the leading to come to Lagos. So after finishing my service here in Cross River, Cross River State, I came to Lagos. So the search for work began. I was looking for work at one end, and at the other end, I was looking at myself, what do I want to do? I find myself going more into businesses. So before long, before the end of that year, I started business. I started into dealing with Pepsi, Cola, Coca-Cola. I was dealing with them. I was doing the business. And at the same time, after that, for most women, the next thing is, business, work, and maybe marriage. But before I could make that decision, I need to find my relationship with God. I need to be more intentional with my relationship with God. So I was looking on which church will I end up with. These are decisions that, all these decisions, they are the small decisions that lead to who am I going to be married to. At the end of the day, I decided to go to Foursquare Gospel Church, and I started there. For years, I've not been a member, unlike many of my sisters. I've not been a member, I've not been baptized. But during these times, because after coming back, I had time to be intentional about my relationship, get into membership class, get into baptismal class, and I was able to complete all those things. And more importantly, I took my relationship with God more genuine. So far that on my own, I was having my quiet time daily. Having my quiet time, communing with God, even in my place of business. Sometimes I would just be listening to music, intention about my relationship with God. And I was also serving in church at that time. I was also serving in church. So some of this decision, at a point, I decided that I don't think I can work 9-to-5 job. I don't think I can work 9-to-5 job. So I decided that it is business. So I was into my business, serving God and doing every other thing. At a point when there was pressure on, wow, go and marry. For me, I was like, this me. I want to have a me and God moment. So I was really enjoying that me and God moment, which gave me much. As I was serving in the church, I was really enjoying myself. Not because I want anything. I was just enjoying it because there's no other things for me to do. I'm no more in school. So I was giving my service, my all to God. They could call me from church, come and do something. I will volunteer to do it. They can say they want to do something in church. I will volunteer because it is just my business. I can decide to close. I don't have to, I don't have to go to, I'm not bound to do anything. It is my business. So I do it the way I was led to do it, and I have my free time to really be myself and to serve God. I think that's one of the things that led me to the journey of my.
And I think one thing you didn't add, or one thing you forgot to add, was that it was in the course of you being in church that we found ourselves.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
Because of you being in church. Yeah, of course. Well, it's like our journeys before marriage.
Yes.
So before we met.
Yes. So just to add to that, it was during the course of serving God, volunteering, doing one thing or the other that we met.
Yeah, we met. So what is the takeaway from that is that if you want to find a spouse that is you want to find the one who is your own, just get busy. She got busy in her business, in her work, in her business. She got busy working for God, and it might be in your workplace, it might be in church, but just get busy. Don't be idle, and you'll find the person who is best for you.
Yeah.
So, on that first point, what I just want to say is that, knowing yourself. You need to know yourself. Knowing yourself is critical before you find a spouse. Knowing yourself is critical. I want to come from that angle. Knowing yourself is critical. Before I ever met her, I've been planning, praying, and taking note of things. What kind of spouse do I want to have? What kind of spouse do I want to have? And in doing that, I listen to messages that talk about marriage. I study the Bible, What does God say about who a spouse is? I mean, who a godly spouse is. So I taking notes of some of those things, and I tell you, when I met her, I'm just talking about why you should know yourself first. I got God revealed to me, okay, who am I, and who will be best complementary to me. It's very, very important. Who are you, and who will best complementary to you? And when I met her, and as I began to relate with her over time, I began to see some of those things that God had revealed to me. That God had told me that, okay, this is the kind of person that you will most likely, that will be a best partner for you. So those are some. So what I want to emphasize in what I've just said is that it's important for you to understand who you are. It's important for you, she has said, it's important for you to get to know get to know God for yourself and begin to relate with God. Because let me tell you something. There's something we have not also said. God is the foundation of marriage. God is the foundation of marriage because He's the one who created it. Adam and Eve, He made Eve and brought Eve to what? Adam. God is the one who created what? Who created marriage. And so we cannot do anything. We cannot say we want to find a good wife or a good husband without God as the foundation. And that's why I'm going to mention God a lot.
And more important, just to add to that, God is the one that instituted marriage. And to know that it's only God that knows each individual.
Yes.
It's only God that knows what is ahead of you.
Yeah.
It's only God that knows what an individual can become in the next 5 years, in the next 10 years.
Yes.
Even if somebody say, these are my plan, it's only God that knows those things that are ahead of you. So that's why there's no how you could do marriage without involving God.
Yeah.
There's no how. It is very, very critical.
Yeah,
because He's the one that knows everything.
Yeah, from the beginning.
If a man comes to, the Bible says that everyone will profess himself as being faithful, but it's only God that really know a man that is truly faithful.
Yeah.
So there's no how you can do a successful marriage without God. Yeah,
that is very, very critical. That's very critical. Thanks for adding that. Very critical. Okay. The next thing we want to talk about is our standard. Standards and non-negotiables. That's how to identify standards. When you say standard, we're not just saying any standard. We're not talking about he must be tall, or she must be able to speak very fantastic English or speak Queen's English. We're not talking about she must be able to cook. She must be Hilda Bassi. What was her name? Hilda Baci. She must be a fantastic chef. No, we're not talking about those. Fine, those things are good. I'm not saying they're bad. But what I'm saying is, godly standards that will last. That will last the length of your marriage. How do you identify them? And also, when you say non-negotiable, what are you must come to before you settle down with anybody, or before you find anybody. Not even settle down. Before you find a spouse, you must come to a point where you take note of some things that look. These things are non-negotiable. This thing, they say there are some things that they say essentials and non-essentials. You should be able to state that these things are essential. As far as the spouse I'm looking for is concerned, these things are essential. And those essential things are not, like I said, they should be things that are godly. Things that will stand the test of time. So we want to talk about standards now. Okay, I want to ask you now, what were the standards and what are those things that before you? I mean, when you were praying, you said you prayed and whatever. Or
for me,
what are those things? I want us to mention those.
Yeah,
things.
for me, when I was about going into the journey of marriage, one most important essential value for me is that the person I'm going to get married to must be a true child of God.
That's number one.
That is a major one. A born again Christian, a true child of God, somebody that really have the fear of God. Honestly, if the person has the fear of God, every other things are minor. Whether he's tall, whether he's short, whether he's stingy, every other things are they are minor. The most important thing is that he should be a person that fear God. Okay. And because there are some Christians that doesn't fear God.
That's why I wanted to say that. But some people will say, he must be a child of God. Some people that are watching will tell you that I know some pastors.
That's what I'm saying. That
who are
a child of God
pummeling their wives.
Yeah, a child of God that truly fear God.
Okay.
When you see a man that fear God, you will know that this person fear God. The Bible, if you want to know what's the meaning of fearing God, the Bible says the fear of God is the beginning of wisdom. When you look at the Bible, you will know what it means to have the fear of God. A man that fear God is the one that will tell you that be honest in his word.
Yeah,
we tell you something.
He's going to be true to his word.
A man that has the fear of God is somebody
both
that is
both a man and
an individual that has the fear of God is someone that is not proud.
Yeah.
Do you understand? It's very essential because, like, what I'm trying to say here is that these are some of the value, and once you have this, there are the other things that will lead to other things. For example, now, before he came, there was a guy, truly a child of God too, a born again Christian. In fact, he was a youth leader of his own church at that time, and he came, he proposes. When he proposed to me, I was praying at that time. I told him I'm going to pray about it. But by the time I start praying and relating with him, I saw some things in him. One of the things I saw in him I saw some things in him that really put me off. And one of the things is a proud man. She understands. So for me, fine, he qualified as being a child of God. But when I saw some other things, I said no, it can't be him. And at the same time, I was praying because sometimes some people, they cannot show you all they are in a day. You can't know a man. In fact, in a month, you can't know him. In fact, it takes eternity. It takes a long years for you to be. Each day, people are revealing themselves. So, it may just be a one-off thing. But at the same time, as I was praying, there was a time I prayed, and as I woke up, something happened. It was as if God was telling me, this one is not going to work out. And that was how I ended. I told the guy that my answer to the proposal is no. And we ended that. So, for me, more importantly, if he's a child of God, somebody that communicates with God, that has a relationship with God, if you are having problem with him, take his case to God. God can handle him.
And that's a problem with her, not doesn't him.
Yes, I'm talking from a lady's point. If I'm having a problem with him, I take his case to God. He's a child of God. His father will talk to him. But if he's somebody that doesn't have a relationship with God, who is going to talk to him? You know, this very, very aspect is very important because at that time, you know, there were so many people flocking around me to get involved. There was even one particular guy in my place of business. I know you know him. In my place of business at that time, and he was a Muslim, but he was a fantastic guy, very caring, very romantic and nice and whatever. But it
was more romantic than me then.
Very romantic. But just, you know, he's somebody that is tall and handsome, you know. But just the fact that this person is not a child of God, that means that no matter how he professes love to you at this point, you don't know his future. As long as he's not a child of God. And thank God. In fact, thank God. I really want to say thank God. Because you know that, I don't know. I was before we got married, was it after I got married, that I found out that the guy has already impregnated a lady, that the lady, they got married, and he was so confessing, he was so telling me that he loves me, he will do anything, he'll be going to church at that time. You imagine, I'm telling you.
To trick you.
In fact, thank God, because I know it was only God that did not allow me to fall for that thing. Because eventually, it wasn't just like a month or after we got married that he got married, and the wife was already even pregnant up to like 6 or 7 months pregnancy. You understand? So it's only God that knows. And for me, of course, no matter how fantastic he has a good behavior, he will help me even in my business. He will help me to carry things. He will help me to, you know, to relate with people. You know. But for the fact that he's not a Christian, he's a no for me. So I think this answers your question.
Well, of course you don't. So what's I mean, what's the like you say, the cocoa of the matter of this thing is that, you know, before you go into marriage, you need to have, and before you even start seeking for a spouse, you need to have standards. You need to have standards, and of course, you may be asking that, how do I get those standards? I mean, how do I take note of them? You know, you need to, number one, like we said, you need to have a relationship with God. It's critical. It's critical. And God, when you have a relationship with God, will begin to reveal to you who, like I said, okay, I don't know if I mentioned it, but begin to reveal to you who should be, or who should be a good person for you. You understand? I did, like I said, I think I mentioned, but I did that. In fact, there was a time I had to, for a long time, I listened to messages, the late Pastor Bimbo Odukoya, Olumide Emmanuel, listened to quite a number of them and took notes of what they say. But a time came whereby I was still in school. I was on IT, I was on IT then. It occurred to me that, look, I've listened to so many people talk about, okay, this is who a good wife is, this is a good husband is, they said so many things. But what does the Bible even say? Because the Bible should be the basis. All those people that I listen to, they take their whatever from the Bible. What does the Bible even say? So what I did was that I took like a month or two to go and search the Bible from Genesis to Revelation about what does the Bible say about who a good husband should be? Because it's not just about the other person, it's also about me too. Who a good husband should be, who a good wife should be, what are the qualities you find in a good wife. And I began to take note of those things and say, okay, it began to shape my standards. That, we are talking about standards now. It began to shape my standards. That's what standards what standards do I want to, what standards am I looking for in a spouse, and that formed it. And so when I came across ladies going forward, maybe when I was finishing school, going to the youth service, and after youth service coming back home, as I saw different ladies, I used those standards to do what? To benchmark that, okay, this person, and so those standards helped me to make choices. Of course, she was not the first person I proposed to. I actually proposed to 5 ladies before her. She was number 6 person. The first person I proposed, the first person while I was in my final year in school, And let me say that all these 5 ladies, even before her, and including her, all of them, they met those standards and non-negotiables. They were Christians, and they had some of those standards that are, by virtue of my research and whatever I had got put down. They met them, even though the rest did not accept my proposal. Well, but thank God for that, But eventually she did. So it's very important for you to have standards, have non-negotiables, so that when you see someone, just like you said, see someone who is caring but does not have something that is critical, he's not going the same direction as you are going, you will not say, because he's caring but he's not going the same direction as I'm going, let me just join. No, you'll be making a disastrous mistake. You'll be walking into disaster if you do that. So it is very, very important. So you need to identify your standards and those non-negotiables, and hold on to them. Hold on to them.
Yeah. Just to say some things about your previous proposals.
Okay, yeah.
Can we talk more about it? What made you propose to 5 ladies before me?
That one is not part of our hand. Anyway,
let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it. Well, of course, I don't think any guy who has proposed to 5 ladies or more, I don't think he intended to do so. Except those who are doing double dating, some people do that. I never did that.
And you need to talk. You need to enlighten us more about the way you propose to them. Were you proposing to them all at the same time?
No, yeah, that's where I'm going to. That's where I'm going to. That's where I want to get to now. So I did not do that. No. One after the other. One, I proposed to number 1. After a while, she said no, and I moved on. I'm not the type of person that will. Some people, when a lady says, no, I'm not accepting you, they begin to beg and say, why now? No, I'm not that kind of person. I'm not that kind of person. So after the first lady said no, I moved on.
So you took 5 no's.
Yes, I took 5 no's.
Wow.
I took 5 no's. You understand? So it's not that I proposed to one and then proposed to that.
Bible says that a righteous man will fall 7 times.
That kind of thing. So I proposed. I didn't do double dating or double proposal like what people do. No. That's why I say if not that the first person said no, I wouldn't have even met you. Maybe somebody else that will sit in this seat now. So the first person said no, second person, third person, fourth person, fifth person. One of them actually came back. The truth, that's the truth. You know. Now I said no. One of them actually came back after she had said no, and I said, okay, I moved on. And that was in youth service. Yes, the lady I proposed to in youth service. Youth service. When we were about to pass out, finally, she came and told me that no, her mother said no. She was young then, so maybe she was a bit naive, kind of. So, well, actually, that was the only time where, when I had to go. After she said no, I went back to my room in our corpus lodge. Then I cried.
She was the only one that you cried for.
Yes.
What about the other one?
No, I did not.
What happened? What is those?
No, I don't know. I was just overtaken by emotion. I don't know, maybe because
it was the fifth one or what?
No, was she the? I think she was the. I can't remember now. Don't forget now. It's a long time ago.
So you cried?
Like maybe the fourth person, third or fourth person. I can't remember now. So I cried, soaked my pillow with water and whatever.
Yeah, sorry.
But long and short, well, after crying, the prayer I prayed to God and said, God help me. I'm hurt too, but I want you to take this matter or this lady off my mind. You understand? That was the prayer I prayed to God, and I prayed to God. We passed out. We came back home. I came back home from Lagos. To Lagos from where we served in Katsina. She also came back to. We were both in Lagos, but never. But after some months, she actually called me and said, "Oh, that her mom, because her mom was actually the person who said no, you can't marry that guy or something, whatever." Her mom had said I changed her mind. Quote. That's what I mean. I think her mom had changed her mind, if I recollect.
Okay.
But I said no. I told her no. Wow. And as at that time, I had not that I proposed to anybody. I had not found anybody else to propose to. But I told her.
Why did you say no? Why did you say no?
No, because I told God to take her out of my mind.
Okay.
And so when she came back, the thing or the whatever had gone. Yeah. Okay. So I said no. And that was it. So it was good you asked that question. So okay. I did not double propose. Okay. I didn't double date. How they call it too. Yeah. So that's it. So you need to stick to your standards and non-negotiables.
So just to say something on this, sometimes some brothers, probably you have gotten a no from a lady. Because of that, you don't want to move on again. Yeah. Which some guys nowadays.
Yes,
that's one of these. Because somebody said no, doesn't mean that another person will not say no. We don't say yes. If you keep hearing no, keep pushing. But one day you will get to
reach out to me. I will reach out to you. I will school you.
But another thing that we can also see is that sometimes when you get a no in a place, sometimes you just need to go back to God and seek God's face and really confirm, God, which way, just like what you did in the last one.
Yes.
Which way? Which way should I move to? How should I do it this time around? Sometimes when you look at even the Bible, you see the case of Isaac. Bible says that when he was digging the well, they will fill it back. He kept digging until he was able to get to the final place where he caught it. This is now my rowboat. So don't give up. After trying second time, don't give up. Even if you have to try the 5th, 6th time, I'm sure that there's no, if you are sincere, and you have the backing of God, the leading of God, you will definitely get yes one day.
Thanks so much. Okay. That's really great. So the next thing we want to go into is talking about walking away from wrong relationships. Anyway, let me walking away from wrong relationships. I personally did not have any wrong relationship. Sorry. Personally, I did not have any wrong relationships. Like I said, I proposed to 5 ladies, and they all said no before my wife. And before I met her, and then she said yes. But before those 5 ladies, I've never been in any relationship. Have you been in any relationship before? Any previous? Did you have any previous relationship? As in, like, steady boyfriend girlfriend relationship?
No. just the ones that you have in, you know, teenagers crush in teens crush in secondary school.
Okay.
You know, those ones.
Yeah.
But there have never been any specific boyfriend that yes, this is my steady. There is none.
Yeah.
But I have friends. While I was growing up, I have friends, male and female. I have people that I have crushes on or that I love, so to say.
Yeah.
But aside that, there is no steady relationship.
Yeah.
I have never been in any relationship. In fact, I've never said any yes to anybody until he came. But I have proposals, and when they come,
so how
for
lucky
me,
I am.
the reason for me, I know that my marriage, I have to be intentional.
Okay.
I have to be intentional with the person I'm going to go into relationship with.
Yeah.
Because I have several examples, you know, before me that could make me to say no, I won't make mistake. So
you got some examples?
Yes, I have examples.
Yeah, can you
like
share?
My sisters,
Your
their
sisters?
marriages, yes.
Your sisters. Okay, can you tell us about it?
In my home, you know, I'm from a polygamous, so I have step sisters.
Yes.
I have sisters that have been married. I have one that our marriage only lasted like less than 2 years.
Yeah, that's true.
And she has 2 kids, less than 2 years, and she has to.
Okay,
In
so
fact,
that
at the time, in fact, that particular one was the real one that said, marriage. I know marriage is not by force, but if I'm going to go into marriage, I must make sure I didn't get it wrong.
Yeah.
And that case was the one. At, you know, less than maybe 2 or 3 years, the marriage ended later, and she was even married to a pastor.
Can you imagine?
That they have a church, a pastor that they have their own church.
Wow.
She understand.
Wow.
But at the end of that marriage, she almost ran mental. In fact, she had a mental issue that it was just God and maybe the family support that really helped her to bounce back. For the past, since the marriage ended, the man, I don't think whether the children know their father. I don't think
never seen him.
I don't think they have even seen the father physically.
I even asked them.
One of them. Okay.
But
I don't think they know their father.
Yeah,
if they have
I
ever seen their father, it will be in a picture, in a picture like that. She understands. So I know that marriage is a very, very critical thing. It's something that can make or mar you.
Yes.
So and it can even affect your mental situation. So because of that, I had to be very intentional in the way I make. And I also have sisters that they have fantastic home, you know. People I can't mention names. Should I mention names? No. I have sisters like that. That when you go to their home, you will see the love of, you will see love, genuine love in their home. You see, so I have people that I can pattern myself. This is the way I want my marriage to be. I don't want it to be this way. And because whatever is going to take me to do, I will make sure that it doesn't end like this. And that's one of the things. So when the proposal or things are coming, I was so. In fact, before I could say yes to him, I don't know how long it took me. You were saying that it took so long for me to say yes, but I know that
it took long.
But for me, I know that if I'm going to say yes, I know that I must be sure that I want to say yes. And at that time, I wasn't really, you know, my relationship with God. I was having a relationship, but I know that people will say, they want to seek God's face. They want to go to the mountain to pray. I wanted to have a quiet place, but sometimes in Lagos, you know, it may not be easy.
Yeah.
But at a point, I even requested that I want to go for camp, to go and pray at the camp. At the camp, I couldn't even pray because I was busy helping with the children. But I know that it was when I eventually come back to home, I was praying and God gave me words, and I was able to say yes. So it wasn't just yes like that. I know that if I'm going to say yes, I need to know, and I need God to really to confirm to me that yes, this is the way, because it's only God that really truly know the heart of a man and know what is in man, and know what a man can become in the future, because that one is very, very important. A man can be so fantastic at this time because everything is going on, but when he begins to have challenges, or maybe financial challenges, health challenges, it may change. So I was so sure that this is and I got the leading and the confirmation from God. I could tell him at that time. He said it took me 3 months. I didn't count. But I eventually said yes.
Know, after five episodes, we know. Anyway, it's so please don't forget we are still talking about the part 1 before we find each other, the search and the standards, you know, very quickly. Now there's something you mentioned which I want to emphasize about the fact that you saw, it was because you saw what happened to one of your sisters that made you sorry, that made you
determined to make a decision
to do the get it right.
Yes.
And also is of course for me, in fact, maybe my own was worse than your own because my own was actually worse than ours, because I came from a turbulent home. In fact, I came from a broken home. My mom and my stepfather, I grew up with them, but they were always at loggerheads with each other. And because of the, they were always fighting. In fact, we became referees, I've mentioned it in some other of my videos, we became, me and my siblings, we became referees between my stepdad and my mom, always fighting, serious fighting, regularly. In fact, eventually the marriage, they separated. Not that they divorced, but they separated eventually. But those years, going through those things, it made me decide that, look, I'm also not, I'm just saying, it's just like made me decide that I'm not going to get it wrong when it comes to marriage. Because there are two things that can happen. If you come from a broken home or a turbulent home, the kind of home I came from, there are two things that can happen. Is that you decide that, say, okay, my dad or my stepdad, or as the case may be, is beating my mother. So when me too, I get married, I will also be doing the same to my wife. And all the negative things, you can decide that, or you can decide that, no, this is not right. I'm going to get it right. I'm going to treat my wife in a way that is decent, in a way that is godly. And so, I decided to choose the latter. I decided to say, no, this is the wrong way. This is not the way. And that's why that's the reason why I'm really passionate about marriage. When it comes to marriage, or when I see marriage that are not working, or couples that are fighting themselves, like they say in Nigeria, my blood it will begin the hot. Go in the hot. In fact, I think I have more passion now that than you. My blood will go into hot because of what I've been through. So I went through a lot. So it really helped me. And so what I want to bring out from that is that, one important thing to succeed in life, either in marriage or in any endeavor, is to learn from other people's mistakes. Learn from the mistakes that other people have made. In fact, if it's only a fool, sorry to say, it's only a fool that will repeat the same mistake somebody has made in his family or a friend or whatever. Is it a fool? Because when people make mistakes, God is also using that mistake to teach you that this is that thing they did, though, that's not the way to do it. This is the right way to do it. And by God's grace, I am glad that I learned. In fact, one of the things I'm grateful for is that I learned from the mistakes of my parents. And by God's grace, we will still talk more. You will see, we are still on it. My marriage is not like my parents. In fact, I will say it's like 180 degrees opposite direction of what my parents, or the kind of home I'm going for. Okay, so I just said I should bring that up since you mentioned it. Yeah. So another thing so we're talking about walking away from wrong relationships. We don't want to say that both of us, we didn't really have any wrong relationships. But for any of you who are watching, who maybe you feel based on the way your spouse or your partner, your fiance or fiancé is acting or behaving, you feel that, no, something is wrong here. It is not too late to walk away. It is not too late to walk away. They say that even if your marriage is left, they say broken courtship or relationship is better than a broken marriage. Even if your marriage is left to, is just 2 or 3 weeks away, you can still stop it. We've seen, I'm sure you've heard, we've seen people who have done that, who have stopped a marriage 2 or 3 weeks to the time because they found out that, look, we cannot go ahead with the way he or she is behaving. So it is very important. So if you are in a wrong relation, please walk away. Walk away. Walk away.
So just to say that sometimes it may not be easy, but
yeah, I know. I agree.
I want to tell you that it will be the best decision you could make for yourself.
Yeah.
Something. Let me just say something in this aspect of blocking. Walking away from one relationship. Okay. Look, I said something about the guy that was in my shop. Yes. At a point, I was kind of being emotional with the guy because he was so caring. That was even before I said yes to you.
Yeah.
Because he was so caring. He was so.
At that time, I was like a disturbance.
No, at that time you are just coming. You have not proposed.
Okay, I don't say anything.
Yes, you have not proposed. You just come to shop to come and discuss about
church stuff,
youth program. So at that time, the guy was so caring. for somebody at that time, I was ready.
Yeah.
I was ready. I was getting ready to be married. I was around 20 something. So he was so caring. He was in fact, he was really doing it in such a way that emotionally I was being. But when eventually I know it wasn't the way, so I found a way to. But when I found out that the guy was actually lying, he has been involved. One of the way that helped me is that, number one, I deleted his phone number from my phone.
Okay, yes.
So I try as much as possible not to have
burn that bridge. Break off.
You understand?
Yeah,
and luckily for me, that at that time when we eventually got married, I had to leave the place of. So it really helped me. Even on Facebook, as much as possible, I don't want to have anything to do with him. So it was easy for me because I was beginning to have emotional attachments. It was even for me to break off and to forget. Now, sometimes it's just when I see some people that knows him, how is he, and that is it. I don't have his personal contact again. I don't want anything to contact us to so that I won't open, what do they call it? It is an emotion. Emotions are very powerful. So you
emotional
don't just
ties.
you don't just play with it and say but thank God I was able to break off. I deleted his phone number. There's no, even when he calls me, I don't even know. I can't remember. Probably I block his line, but I know I don't have any contact with him again. There are times and later, lucky, and to even imagine the wife, we are friends. We became friends through him, no. Okay. So the wife will come to the shop and we entertain. At that time I was like, are you guys dating? They were playing. They were not dating. Punks. But thank God. So sometimes you may have to make some decisions that. Your emotions is very, very your own health. Your health is very important to you. Your mental health, your physical health, everything. If anything that is affecting you in any way that is going to harm you, it's better you cut off with those things so that you can have a peace of mind.
That's the way to walk away, to break off. Yes, very important. Okay, so let's talk about the next thing we want to talk about is spiritual discernment. That's how prayer, mentors, and inner conviction, played a role. I don't know. Should I start where you? Should I start? Okay. Spiritual discernment. Of course, like we said, if now this spiritual, someone will say, we are becoming spiritual. No. Like we said, God is the foundation of marriage. The one who created marriage. So I will not talk about marriage without talking about God. that one is the fact. We will not talk about marriage or even success in marriage without talking about God. So God is critical. So we cannot talk about you making the right choice in finding a partner without talking about spiritual discernment. The Bible says that the heart of man is deceitful and desperately wicked. Who can know it? Jeremiah 17 verse 9. Only God. That verse did not answer. He just asked a question, like a rhetorical question. He did not answer the question. He didn't say it's God, but we know that it's only God that can know the heart of man. You understand? So when you and I say it even these days, that even compared to our own time, 14 years ago is quite a lot. In recent times, you cannot make a right choice of a spouse without being spiritual about it. You cannot. Take it from me. You may not have seen me before. I just seen you for the first time. I may not be a pastor or that you are very right. You are very correct.
But
that's take it from me.
Even now, the massive people that are inside the church, you hardly know who is who.
So the
who
church
is truly who.
Full of all kind of people.
It's full of all kind of people. And people with great talent. Do you remember there was a time somebody in Abuja was telling us about a brother they call Walking Bible.
Yeah, Walking Bible.
A Walking Bible that has impregnated how many people? And he was already in a relationship with another sister.
To get married, and you have created people in the choir.
You have to be very, very intentional, spiritual, intentional, because you won't know. Who is who in the church? If you say because he's going to church, he's preaching, you will be deceived though.
Yes, it's not about quoting Bible.
Yes.
It's not about he's a pastor. She said that one of her sisters, her senior sisters, was married to a pastor who owns it, not even just a pastor, like just
he owns a church.
He owns a church. He's a founder, in quotes, of a church.
Yes,
but the marriage only lasted 2 to 3 years.
Yes,
and they divorced and they left. And this is over 30 years now.
Over 30 years.
Over 30 years ago.
Abi?
The first child is 30 something now. Abi?
Yes.
He's 30, maybe 31, 32 or thereabout. This is like 30 years ago. And they never came back again.
I don't think whether the children even know.
And they never came back again. So
maybe
they never came together again. So it's not about he quotes scripture.
It's impossible.
He quotes scripture. He prays. He scabaches so much.
No.
Those things are good, but they are not a telltale sign that this person is the child of God, or he's the person that is meant for you. You might even be a child of God though, but it might not be meant for you.
Yeah.
Because God knows who we are now. God knows who we are going to be in 10 years time.
Yes.
God knows if somebody somebody may be firebrand for God today, and in 10 years time he may be a backslider.
Yes.
He may become a drug addict. He may become what do you call it? Yahoo boy or whatever it is. Is God who knows what? God is the one who knows what the end from the beginning. So it is very, very important for you to spiritual discernment is important, even if you're in church. So what I'm saying is that personally, before I for the ladies that I've been proposed to, I prayed. In fact, I've been praying for my marriage from I think I was 19 years old when I started praying for my marriage. And I did not it took like almost it took like 7 years before I proposed to the first lady. After praying. So we also, when it comes to spiritual, you need to pray. There's a place for prayer, seeking God's face about, God, guide me as I'm in the midst of so many ladies, so many guys. God guide me. That's what I did. Even in my church, there are some ladies that were in my church, the church where I grew up. We all grew up together. We grew up from teenagers to youths, like that. I never proposed to them because God did not. What's the word now? God did not lead me to them. You understand? Even though in quotes they were fantastic ladies. You understand me? God did not lead me to them. So there's a place for prayer. There's a place for mentorship. I want to encourage you need to have mentors. You understand? People who will mentor you. In this area of marriage. Not everybody can mentor you in marriage. That's the truth of the matter. Not everybody. There are some people can mentor you in different things. But people who can mentor you, who can counsel you, who can maybe in your church or in your family or whatever. But people who are up there, people who you know that they also have good marriages. Marriages. There's no perfect marriage. There's no perfect marriage, but some marriages marriage should be at least above board to a point. So you need to have mentors. You have a good read counsel. Books. Good counsel. Yeah, read books. So it is very important. And then very importantly, there is something which I practiced. I practiced personally. Before I go and make any propose to anybody, I always want to say, God, I want peace in my heart about that thing. There's something they call inner peace. There's something that maybe you are thinking, should I go to this person? Should I not go to this person? Should I go to this person? Should I go to that person? There's something called inner peace. There's something called what? Inner peace. Now, that inner peace is something that tells you that, okay, God says, go ahead. But sometimes if you are a Christian, because like I said, it's Christians who are Christians that can understand what I'm saying. If you are a Christian, there are some things that you will be doing that your spirit will tell you that this is not right, don't do it. And I can give you a very good example. There's somebody, up to today, I'm still very close to, you know the person now, I don't want to mind. There's a lady who I wanted to propose to. In fact, I had planned to propose to that person. I went to go and meet her where she was living, to her house, to say I want to propose to this lady. But God did not give me peace.
That's the sixth one. I say a righteous man will fall 7 times.
But no, I did not propose to her.
But that's the sixth lady.
I did not propose to
Yes.
her. So you cannot say.
So I'm the seventh lady.
No, you are the sixth lady.
I'm the seventh lady. I'm the perfect lady.
No, I did not propose to her. Now, so I went there and to a very far place from where I live. I left my parents' house to that place. We went and proposed to this sister. In fact, I can't forget, it was a Sunday after we finished youth week, in church. We did youth week for the whole week, and I was youth president then. I went to that lady's house to go and propose to her, but God did not give me peace. So it was as if I was fighting against myself. When you want to do something, something's pushing back. You want to do something, something pulling back. I said, Eventually, I wasted my transport fare, everything. Went there, talk, do this thing. I came back, I left, I came back home without proposing to her. Now, that's what I'm telling you about inner peace. Sometimes you might want to say yes, and sorry to say, that's why, well, I know it happens these days. It was not so right during our own time, but, that's why I say, these days when, what happens now, when guys want to propose, what do? They organize a proposal party. They come and they say, come and they open they kneel down and they open a box of, a box containing a ring, engagement
diamond,
and say, please, will you marry me? And then people will say yes. Sorry to say, you may call me old school, but I do not do what? I do not subscribe to it because of what I'm saying here. Because when people are saying say yes, what is God really saying?
Yes.
What is God speaking? What is God saying?
What are you yourself, the individual? What do you really want to say?
What do you really want to say? What do you say?
Because those ones that are telling you to say yes are not the one that will leave the man with you.
Because it is very, very what? It is very, very. And that is the reason why. And that's the reason why if you take a poll or you take a statistics or a census of marriages that are taking place now, that's the reason why they are not ending. They are not lasting long. Because you find that in fact
somebody's yes that is making the marriage go. I
can't forget a day I was in church, and we were doing Thanksgiving. What were we doing? We were doing Thanksgiving, and then one lady brought some of her friends to the church, and they came to testify. Say, thank God for this one. This one, they thank God. I was married, but my husband was doing me. I've escaped now. I was shocked that day. Like 2 or 3 ladies, 2 different ladies, young girls. Maybe they've been married for 1 year or maybe less, and they have broken up. They've already broken up. And why is it? It's because of this thing. Because when you are not sure, you just say yes, and then even when you go into the relationship, you have said yes under duress, under pressure. Now you're not going to the relationship. You now see that this guy. He's not who
I thought he was.
Who I thought. Even the guy too, he said, this girl.
Now to say no
but
again.
For you to now say no.
After yes.
After you have said yes in the midst of many people, is a problem. So you now go
on
you will now have to go
to keep managing the relationship.
Managing it, but I tell you, something that is already bad, the foundation is wrong. The foundation is already broken. So something that you have already gone into, that you have already started and it is on a faulty foundation, I tell you, it's really a problem. That's why, like I said, I do not subscribe to it. And I pray and I hope that you understand what I'm saying. Please, it's very, very important for us to be able to discern. This spiritual discernment is so important for you to make the right choice in marriage. Okay, I think we are getting the home one now. Now I want to talk about evaluating compatibility beyond emotions. Okay, I think we have said a lot of that. Looking at character, goals, and I think it's very important. We need to talk about this. Looking at character, goals, and lifestyle alignment. That's looking at character, goals. Let me ask you. Before you married, or before we even met. Is it everyone? Is it any? I think you said it, but just say it. Can you just marry just anybody? No. Why? Why can't you just marry just anybody? Based on what we are saying here, I don't know if you can decode. Based on what we are talking about, so character,
like
goals,
people usually
alignment.
Say, if I'm going to Kaduna or I'm going to US.
Yeah, wherever.
And if I need to go I need somebody that will go with me.
Yeah.
I must have somebody that have the mind to go to where I'm going to.
Yeah.
That has the same desire to go to where I'm going to. If I intend to go to US, and the other person decide to go to,
he's going to South Africa,
Afghanistan. You know, of course we are not going to. It's not going to work.
Yes.
That kind of relationship is not. So for me, making decision in marriage, I must be able to make sure that this person has his goal, his desire is similar. In fact, you may not only have 100%, but at least it must be like 80, 85.
Yes.
No. To be able to say, yes, we can work together. Maybe by and that is what that is to me. I think.
Yes. You are very correct. You are very correct. You know, before you get married to somebody, that's why we first started at the beginning. We say understanding yourself, knowing yourself. That's what we said now. You understand yourself, get to know who you are. You understand who are you. It is who you are that will determine who you can run with, who you can work with. Run the journey of marriage.
In fact, this question that you're just talking, I could remember even when I was in secondary school, when I was growing up, making friends among my classmates. It's not everybody that is in the school.
Of course,
that is my mate, that is in my year, that I can call my friends. There are some people that their value system is totally different from me, so I can't work with them. So I choose people based on, and that's the same way. In fact, the kind of people that I will work with, even in a church, the kind of people that I will move with, that I will find out that there are people that have the same goal,
of course,
the same mindset like I am. You know, for example, there are some people that, even in a church, there are some people that are just there to be backbiting to pastors, to be gossiping around. Those kind of people, I won't move with them. When I was in secondary school, I have people that having boyfriend, changing boyfriend, collecting gift, Valentine gift is a norm for them. That one is not my own. It's not in my own principle. It's not in the way I was born. So I can't be friends with them because we always have conflict. So these are things. These are factors. In fact, these are things that I have friends. Like I said, I have friends, male and female. Choosing these people, I know you will choose people that have godly mindsets. So these are things that has helped me even in making marital decisions. Because there are some people that it's not everybody that you can work with.
Of course.
Like they used to say, friendship is not by force, it is by choice. You choose the people that you can work with. So from there, it was easy. By the time you are able to choose this person, sometimes when you are listening to people, you will know what is in their mind.
Of course.
You know, the Bible says, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. So by the time you are listening to people, you know, this person, this is the kind of person this one is. You will know from based on what he's saying. Can you work together? Can you be friends based on that? You understand? So this thing is so simple.
So you know, just like you're right. What I just like, you know, you started with if someone is going to US, you're not going to Afghanistan. In fact, one of the things, let me even say in that line, one of the things that I had decided was that, well, I'm a Nigerian, of course, you know, even before this Japa thing became a word, you know, I had made up my mind that I believe in Nigeria. I would travel abroad for business, for holiday, for pleasure, for conferences, whatever, you know. But I was not going to stay. I'm not going to go and live abroad. Relocate. Yes, I wasn't going to relocate. So that's my mindset. You know, that's my goal in life. One of my goals, or it's not a goal, but it's how would I call it now? Is it a principle? I don't know what to call it now. But anyway, when I met her, I remember we talked about it. We talked about it. I asked her that, look, this is my mindset. I believe in Nigeria. I believe that Nigeria may be bad now, but that
mindset can still be changed because it's only God that is unchangeable.
So but what I'm trying to say that we talked about it. And
but
what you say?
At that time too, I myself, I don't believe in going over there. You know, at that time, I have some siblings that are over there, and I like the fact that they will send things to you. It's like when they sell dollar to you, send something to you, you can be gallivanting over in here. People will be looking at you, so you enjoy. They are working there, so you know you will be enjoying here. You don't need to stress yourself.
So
for me at that time, but like they say, it's only God that knows everything. Things will change. change. It's only God that is unchangeable.
Actually, we talked about it, and she said
No.
that well.
At that time,
No,
I
she
don't
said
even have passport.
if I what you even said was that I remember what you said that well, wherever I go, you will go. You won't say because we have seen, of course, we see people who because
married,
of this thing they married and then
husband,
this one said I'm going abroad, this one said I'm not going, I'm staying in Nigeria, and then they separate. The one person went and the other person is here. Maybe one carry children or one left children, whatever. We said that look, nothing. Traveling abroad is not going to stop us, and it's not going to bring
marriage. We are not.
We're not going to bring.
The issue is that I'm not going to be not even in abroad. A man or husband can be living in Lagos,
and
the
then
wife is
Kano or something.
I don't subscribe to that kind of marriage.
So we talked about that. That's one thing about when we talk about alignment.
Yes.
Because somebody may be thinking that, in fact, right now we know people who one husband is in one place, wife is in the other place, and children are apart. You understand? Husband is here, wife and children are there. In different places, both in Nigeria and even
there are people
so
that
we have, you understand?
Even people that their children will not see them for
months, things like that.
And these are growing children.
Yes,
these are children.
But they didn't start like that. They didn't start like that. Or
maybe they did not plan it.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm going to. They didn't discuss such things.
But some people self,
yes,
it may not mean anything to them.
Yeah.
There are different types of marriages now.
Of course.
Some people they don't think that a man and woman and family should be in a place. That's a marriage for some. It doesn't matter as long as your husband is coming home and sending some money, it's still a marriage to them. But it depends on what you really want.
That's the thing. So it's not my own standard. I'm just telling my own standard.
Yes.
My own standard or my own desire is that
if it works for you.
My own desire is that wherever I am, my wife will be there.
And the children will be together.
The children will be there. Yeah. That's my own desire. That's my own goal. So when I was when I was searching for a spouse,
he asked that question.
That's because I know that's where I'm going to. I don't want a woman who will, because I saw it. Like I said, you need to learn from other people's experiences. Where I grew up in, when I was with my parents, there was a couple who they had 3 daughters, and all of a sudden, the woman and the daughters went to the US. Until I left my parents' house, this was for years. Till I left my parents' house, the father was in Nigeria. We never saw that. Sometimes you can, maybe the father he will say, okay, maybe someone will go abroad go and see maybe go and see the what do you call it? Go and see the what do you call it now? The family or whatever. No, but he was always in Nigeria. You understand? And I said, no. So what's not happening? What happened to the marriage? You understand? So I'm just giving you an example. That's an example of somebody. Of when you talk about goals, your character, your alignments, and things like that. So it is very, very important. Know where you are going, and when you are in your courtship, you understand. Discuss with your spouse, about those things.
Your
there's a book.
Desire, your goals must align together.
Yes, align together. In fact, there's a book.
There are some men, just some men don't mind. Whether they are there, they don't mind coming and going. Yes. But if you as a woman, you don't like it, you can still find somebody that doesn't like it.
Of course,
and meet up.
Of course.
And the one that likes it, you may still find somebody that will work with you. So there is no one size fits all, and there is no this is a perfect way. So far, you know that this is what I want. Does it? And this is what this person is bringing. What she's bringing, do I agree with it? Can I live with it?
Yes, so it's very important, and that's why there's a book I released some time ago. It talks about 8 things that you must do in your courtship. 8 things that you must do in your courtship to have a successful marriage. I'm going to link it up somewhere in this video, either in the description or in the pinned comments. So just go and check out the book. It talks about things you need to. These are some things you need to talk about in your marriage. We actually did it, and so I'm saying those things you find in that book, they are speaking from what experience. So it's very, very important for you. So I think we maybe 1 or 2 last questions. Now let me ask you: were you delayed in your in finding could you say you were really delayed in finding a partner,
a spouse?
Yes.
Okay.
You say you were delayed.
At that time. In fact, I got married at the age of 30. We were eventually married at the age of 32 or so.
Yeah.
So, and I was engaged at the age of 30 years.
Yeah.
At that time, it was considered to be on the high side. I was late.
Yeah, okay,
but although I wasn't under pressure. I wasn't under pressure.
Yeah.
Because as at even that time, there are so many of my folks, some of my friends, okay, some of my friends are married, but some of my sisters are not yet married. So, but I wasn't under pressure. And in fact, even if I did not allow myself to be pressured, because I know what pressure can, and I know that marriage is not a do or die affair. It's not something that. So understand, I didn't allow any pressure to enter. But the most important thing is that at a point in my life at that time, I was like, God, even if I'm not going to be married, which there are some people that are not yet, that are not married, that I won't be married. The most important thing is for me to have a good relationship with God, which I consider most important than any other thing. Your relationship. So at the time, I was. That is what was on my mind. I want to have a good relationship with God. I have good relationship with people, other people, be pleasant. When people are getting married, you know, I'm there for them. Happily, joyfully for them. So I don't envy anybody. I'm doing my business. I'm making money. I don't want anybody to. You understand? So that was the level I was at that time.
So you were not really under pressure.
I wasn't under pressure. So and that's why I could take my time when the proposal came. Take my time. Took my time. Prayed about it, and I was sure that yes, I could go into this.
So that what can we take from that is that don't, even if you maybe you are 30 something and you still haven't settled down, whether as a guy or as a lady, don't be pressured. Just trust God. Follow. I mean, get a lot of information, learn a lot. Like by God's grace, we're going to be posting. This is a series. We're going to be saying a lot of things in the forthcoming series, and even some other channels. We have some other YouTube channels. You can check them also. Doing some other videos separate from this one on those channels. You know, learn a lot, get a lot of information, learn a lot about these things. It's just to position yourself. Don't project yourself.
Like that time, yourself. There's something they used to say that while you are waiting. While you are waiting, be occupied.
Be
in
occupied.
Fact, that is just
critical.
While you are waiting. In so many things. While you are waiting for to have your child, be occupied. Do something. Enjoy life. While you are waiting to be married, enjoy life. Enjoy people. You know, and don't. Some people. The thing is so much on them. You will see it was always written on them that this person is anytime they are calling for prayer point, that's the prayer point. That's not I don't think that's a good way. So just enjoy life. Even at a point, in fact, even when I was delayed in having children, I got to a point, even if I don't have a child. I want to enjoy my life.
We'll talk about
I want to enjoy my life.
Talk about those delays.
I can tell you that those times I really enjoy myself. I enjoy every relationship. When people are getting married, if I have money, I can make souvenir for them. I do it for them. I wasn't pressured. I really enjoy people. I enjoy myself.
Don't be pressured. Don't be pressured. Just trust God. Pray.
Your owns will come.
And also get all the knowledge you require. You understand?
Build yourself. Be the best you can be. Improve yourself. Improve yourself financially. Improve yourself in every area, even appearance. Improve yourself. Grow. And
also very importantly, just let me like finish. And also find very important, put yourself in the right circles, because I'm still going to do that video. It's a video I would have done long time ago, but I've not done. You know, your circles, the circle you find yourself can determine whether you find a spouse or even the kind of spouse you find. Very, very important. Very critical.
Work on yourself.
You understand? Put yourself in the right association. I mean, a group of people, the right circles is very, very
honestly,
important.
it's very important. Enjoy your relationship with God. Because the reason why God really created us is for us to give Him pleasure. So if you can find the things that will give God pleasure, honestly, that's the best you can do for yourself. When you eventually, one of the things that I used to tell myself then is that when one die and you get to heaven, God will not ask you, did you marry? Or did you not marry? Do you have children?
True,
do you not have children? But the most important thing, do you have relationship with me? That is the most important thing in this world. So honestly, with that, if I don't have things that other people have, I'm not pressured. What is the most important thing in life is to have a relationship with God. And that's the only thing that will determine eternity. So with that.
Okay, yeah. So one last question, just one last question. Then I think, in fact, today we have talked to mostly the singles, the people who are not married. But from next episode now, next episode now, yes. So now, the last one is: did your family play any role in your choice of spouse? Did they decide that did they like?
Don't marry this
person? Did they know? I see.
Okay.
Did they, when it comes to me, did they have any say in the decision? Your family,
yes.
family member.
So after you proposed to me,
the
first person I think I told was, I think, was he pastor? My pastor, thank God, my pastor.
Okay, but
of
I'm
a late
family
blessed
now.
memory. I'm coming. You know, they are marriage counselors. So they asked me, have I told my family?
Okay. Yeah.
At that time, I had already lost my dad. So I don't have a father, but I have sisters and I have a mother. So I told some of my sisters, and in fact, some of them, they have not seen you at that time. I just told them, especially those that are in Abuja, oh please, there is a person who pray along with me. Then I have a mentor. I pray. I told my mentor at that time too that this person has proposed. So they were supposed to be praying with me and praying along with me. So we were doing that. So, but my family is not the type that can say that you can't marry somebody from
this or
somebody
that,
from this background or whatever. No, they are not the kind of people. I don't know whether if my father was alive, I don't know. I don't think he could have said so, because I have in-laws that are from other states. So it's not we are not restricted to you must marry only Yoruba guy. So like I have in-laws that are from different places. So I don't think so, but so far, if you are the one that you know this person, you brought him, is he good? They will ask questions. I think when I eventually introduce you to, they will ask questions. I don't know. They will ask you questions. What is he doing? Things like that. And so with that, so personally, another thing from the angle I'm looking at that on my family input on my marriage is that, like I said before, the experience I have seen among my sisters' marriages is one of the things that guided me. So it was able to. So that one is also an aspect of the influence of my family on it. But I found this man that this guy does he has money? Who are his family? No. My family are not that. They are not that kind of.
Okay, so on my own part, my parents didn't really say, oh, we like her, we don't like her. No, so that is not. And by God's grace, after 14 years, we've not. Family wise, we've not had any issue with any in-law or anything. We've not had. Things have. We are kind of graced. We're kind of lucky, favored. I don't want to say lucky. We're kind of favored that. We've had in-laws that are smooth with our in-laws. Yes. Yeah. So as we round up, I just want to ask you a question now. What is that one, or can you mention one non-negotiable or standard that you have that you feel you have set up for yourself in terms of your future spouse? Maybe please drop that in the comments, and let's have your comment. And if you have any other question you want to ask, feel free to drop the question in the comments, or if you want to, you can send me an email. You see on my email, if you check my YouTube channel, you see the email. You can send it to, and then very importantly, let me announce to you. I'm going to say it on future episodes that we're going to have. We are starting a Telegram group, and the group is called Married and Fulfilled. Married and Fulfilled. We just, like we said, we are celebrating our 14th year anniversary, so we just feel that we want to pass across what we have learned. As you can see from this video now, we didn't know we'll spend an hour plus. You understand? We've shared our heart out, So we want to have a situation, a place where we can, people can come and ask questions, not through a YouTube video like this. People can ask questions and we can respond in real time, or people can even learn from other people's experiences, or we can even bring a question like, oh, look at this situation, what do you think about it? So we're going to start we are starting a Telegram group. Like I said, Married and Fulfilled, that's the Married and Fulfilled tribe. So check in the description, in the comments, you see the link there. If you're interested, kindly, we want to encourage you to just click and join the Telegram group. If you're not on Telegram yet, please open an account on Telegram. A lot of people are joining Telegram now, so it's very important. So please join it, and we'll see you there. So finally, thanks so much for listening. It's been a long, we spent over an hour here. We didn't plan that. I think we would just talk about 30 minutes and be true, but we spent over an hour. Thanks so much for watching. We want to also say that, what is our takeaway from this whole thing we have said today? You don't find the right spouse by luck. You have to prepare to find them. You have to prepare yourself to find them. You don't find the right. No, I don't think there's anybody that found the right spouse, a fantastic husband that they mind for 20-30 years. They just found it by luck. You understand? They have to prepare for it. It's very important. So I think that's the place to us to round it up here. In our next episode, we'll be sharing how from wedding to our first years of marriage. We want to see, were there any surprises? Were there any reality check? We want to talk about it in the next episode.
And one thing I also need to talk about is preparing for marriage. You don't need to go and break a bank for you to be married. We'll talk about that.
Yeah. So please watch out for the next episode in this series. It's going to come up very, very soon. Maybe depending on when you're watching, depending on when you're watching this video, it might already have dropped. So that's the part 2 of this series that we have here, where we are talking about, did we make a mistake, or did we get it right? So till the next till episode 2, take care, catch ya. We love you. Subscribe to our channel, very, very important. Subscribe to our channel. Help us go to. God bless you.
And if this blesses you, please
share to so many other people, young people or people who are not married, or people who are married. They will learn a lot from it. So till then, stay blessed. God bless you.